Paradise Syndrome. The Paradise Syndrome. Decent enough episode. This week, the Enterprise is at a planet where there's a meteor headed to it that was going to destroy it. Kirk, Spock, and McCoy went down. They're like, this place looks just like Earth. What are the odds? And they're like, probably pretty good. We see a lot of planets that look like Earth. And they're looking at the people from across the lake, and they're like, they look like Native Americans. What are the odds? And they were like, apparently pretty good. They start naming off tribes they resemble. And Kirk wants to see this obelisk they saw when they first got there. They go over there, and Spock's like, we better get out of here so we can get rid of that meteor. Kirk's like, okay, you go out there, and I'll call the ship. So Spock and McCoy walk away. Kirk calls the ship, and his communicator opens the trapdoor. He falls into the pit where the obelisk is based. And he tries to climb up. He gets hit with lightning bolts or something. And he loses his memory. Doesn't know where he's at. Spock and McCoy can't find Kirk. Spock's like, well, we got to get out of here anyway. And McCoy's like, we can't leave Kirk. So Spock takes several minutes to explain how if they waste several minutes, they won't be able to stop the meteor. So they pretty much just doomed their mission right there. Because Spock took a lot of time drawing out diagrams with rocks and explaining distance and time and how they wasted most of it. They beam back up to the ship. Kirk comes out. He's lost and confused. The natives see him. They think he's like a god. So they're like, well, our legend told us would happen. Here he is. They take him to the tribe. He can't remember his name. And he halfway remembered, so he started calling himself Kurok. Kurok, he called himself. The medicine man, he wasn't happy with Kurok being there. He didn't like it. The elder guy brings in a child who had fallen in the river. Dry as a bone, but apparently he'd fallen in the river. They couldn't revive him. Kurok's like, wait, I think I know how. And he gave him CPR. Kid was fine. He's like, that's strange. I wonder how I knew that. The one lady, Miramini, she ditched the medicine man whom she was supposed to marry because she wanted to marry Kurok because he was the new medicine man because he performed CPR. They're like, he's clearly superior. Medicine man was not happy at all with that. Not happy at all. Then on the Enterprise, they get to the meteor. They can't blow it up in time. They push it away a little bit, buy themselves a little bit of time, and in the process, poor Mr. Scott's engines blow apart. His warp engines don't work anymore, so they have to go at impulse speeds back to the planet to try to figure it out. McCoy's ordering Spock to take a rest. Spock doesn't want to take a rest. McCoy's like, well, you're no good if you don't take a rest. Spock's like, fine, I'll rest. But he doesn't really rest. He keeps doing his calculations. And down on the planet, the medicine man tries to fight Kurok. Kurok beats him up. He marries Miramini. Then pretty soon, they're with child. They sure are. Kirk still can't remember anything, but he'd like halfway remember stuff, but never totally remember it. They thought he knew how to open the obelisk. He did not. He had no clue. But right before the Enterprise gets to the planet, Spock's like, well, of course, it's musical notes. We saw musical notes on this obelisk. And he's like, why didn't I think of that sooner? He's like, somehow musical notes must have played, and that's how you got to it. He determined it was some sort of meteor defense mechanism that some alien had left behind, and then the thing malfunctioned, didn't work properly. Not sure how he came to that conclusion, but he did. And the storms start hitting because the meteor is changing the weather patterns. They're getting like hit with huge storms. They're begging Kurok to do something. He doesn't know how to fix it. They start stoning him. Then Miramini's like running after him. She gets stoned. Spock and McCoy beam down, scare the natives away. And they're like, oops, look at this. We found him, but he's been stoned. They call Nurse Chapel down. She starts injecting this native alien lady with medicine before checking her vitals with the tricorder. Just like, here's a shot. She didn't know what was wrong. Just gave her a shot. Hermione and the baby don't survive the stoning, but Kirk does. He starts getting his memory back. And he's like, I got it. It's musical notes. And Spock's like, yeah, I figured that out a while ago. How did you do it? And he's like, I don't know. I just used my communicator like this. And his communicator opened the trapdoor. And Spock fixed the ancient alien technology with no trouble at all. They deflected the meteor. And they beamed back to the ship. Everything was okay. Except for Miramini and the baby. And probably the natives that wondered where Kurok went. But everything else was fine. That basically it. Some interesting notes. It was the first time Kirk was married. It was vague with Carol Marcus in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan if he had married Carol Marcus or not, but they left it kind of vague. But this definitely is his first wife that we know of in the canon of Star Trek. Uhura was seen in stock footage. They used like a stock footage shot of her. She didn't have any lines, just a quick glimpse of Uhura. Not sure why that was there. Chekhov and Sulu barely in it, but they were there. Scotty's poor engines, they just were taking a beating. His warp engines gave out. I think it was the first time the warp engines totally failed and they had to go on a long journey on impulse engines only. But pretty much that's it.